Hi, welcome to another travel video from Gary Rose Travels. Please click like and subscribe for more videos, and also visit GaryRoseTravels.com for all the best budget backpacker information, and you can now find Gary Rose Travels on Facebook. So this video is part of my India Backpacking 2019 series, and in this video I'm going to be talking all about shopping in India, and we're going to learn about what to pay for, what's the expected cost to pay for things in India, where the best places are to shop in India, how to shop on a budget in India, also the associated costs of your everyday items in India. So if you are backpacking for a long time and you need to replenish your kit, how much to pay for things. I'll also be talking about how to avoid getting scammed whilst you're shopping, how to bargain and haggle, because that's a way of life in India and you have to get used to it. So all these things you'll be learning, and of course, because we are budget backpackers and you are budget backpackers, I will be bearing that in mind throughout, and I'll be giving you some great money saving advice for your travels to make your money go further. Okay, so first of all, as with all destinations, parts of towns and cities are split into more expensive areas for shopping and obviously cheaper areas for shopping. Some places are very expensive that we've been, and other places are surprisingly cheap. Now, one of the places that are surprisingly cheap is actually Paharganj in New Delhi. So if you are starting or finishing your trip in New Delhi, or if you're perhaps staying close to Paharganj, not exactly in Paharganj, but maybe if you're staying in Old Delhi or nearby, do make a trip there and do some shopping, because you can get some really good bargains. Also, we've found that a lot of products that are available throughout India, you can actually find them all in Paharganj for quite a bit cheaper, and sometimes the same products that you would find in Ladakh, especially the Tibetan handicrafts. You can actually find in New Delhi the same things for cheaper, and obviously if you're heading to New Delhi to fly home after you've been in the north, then you don't have to lug the same things around, because you can find them in New Delhi. This is the same in the south. There's huge handicraft emporiums in Paharganj, so you don't have to buy then in the south for an inflated cost. You can actually buy in Paharganj. So that's one really good area for shopping. Also, if you are heading into Rajasthan, it's known for its handicraft work. There's lots and lots of emporiums in Rajasthan, loads of opportunities to shop. However, again, a lot of the same products are on sale in New Delhi, so just bear that in mind before you part with your cash. However, some products are unique to certain areas. And if you're heading to Rajasthan and you head into the town of Udaipur, this has its own unique handicrafts. Now, there are some lovely leather bound, I think they're made with camel leather, books, photo albums, diaries, things like that, and also bags. The leather work in Udaipur is one of the things it's famous for, and you can't buy these books outside Udaipur. I mean, there's a few available, but the quality is not so good, and also they're really expensive. So if you are going to buy them, definitely buy from Udaipur. And you'll find that some places you do get do have unique handicrafts. So sometimes you do have to perhaps shop outside of the major places, but do just make sure that you're not going to get ripped off, and also that you can definitely find them. So we spoke about Paharganj and Udaipur. So haggling and bargaining are a way of life in India, and sometimes it can be a little bit overwhelming, sometimes it can be a little bit confusing and you're not sure what's an appropriate cost to go for. You don't want to take money from people, neither do you want to be exploited and pay far too much. So as a general rule, what we tend to do is half whatever the cost that they're saying is, and then start being reasonable with it. So, for example, a pair of hippie trousers, they might say to you 500 rupees or 600 rupees. Definitely halve it, because they're not worth that much. Half it and then start talking. If people just insist, 600, 700 rupees, just say absolutely no thank you. if you're not sure on perhaps there's two items that look very similar, a good way to see how much they're worth is the quality of the material. This is something I've found over the years, especially with clothing. You can get some really cheap trousers and t-shirts and tops, which they're not worth very much. They are only cotton. The colour does run, but they're useful at the time to keep you cool. Perhaps you're going into the desert and you need something that's loose fitting. By all means, buy these clothes for them. However, there's also the same style but made out of a cotton polyester blend fabric, and with more elastic, there's more work, there's more detail on them, and these are worth more, and you'll be able to just see by feeling them. And also when you wash them, the colours don't run so much and they're more long lasting. So just go into a few shops and compare products really, because if not, you're going to end up paying too much for something which is simply not worth it. So first of all, you offer them half and then start talking basically. Now, there are some shops that are fixed price. There's a few of these I know of in Pahang, and sometimes they're advertised as being fixed price shops. Now, this is something that's quite unusual in India, because very often the shopkeepers, they want you to bargain, they want you to haggle, because it's their way of life, it's how they get down. And even, you know, the Indians, they too will bargain and haggle for things. However, so fixed price things are a little bit unusual. So, you know, if there's souvenirs or clothes or shoes or something that you want, they should have a price on. However, these prices are still negotiable, especially if you're buying a few pieces. A little bit like, you know, an antique shop, for example, in this country. The prices are negotiable, so if you're buying 2 or 3 pieces of something, you can always get a good deal, really. We haven't really ever experienced people being staunch on their prices, especially if you're going to buy 2 or 3 more costly pieces. You can still bargain them down a little bit. So that's one good thing to look for. So as a general rule, we always try and do our shopping just before we go home. This is for 2 reasons. One, because we usually fly home from New Delhi, so we can go to Pahang. And also, even if we're not flying home from Pahang, we don't like to be carrying our souvenirs or our clothes or whatever it is we've bought around with us for a long time. Because things get damaged, things get squashed, they go mouldy. So we do try and save all of our shopping to the end. Even if we fly home from Calcutta, you can still get some really good bargains. And so that's what we do. So first of all, I have here a table that you will be able to find on my India Budget 2019 post online, and I'm just going to read out a few approximate costs that I have learnt over the years. So cotton Aladdin style trousers, these are the ones that's got a large elasticated waist, loose leg and small elasticated bottom cuff around the ankle. I absolutely love these trousers. Sometimes they've got like they're quite baggy and loose fitting, sometimes they are a little bit tighter fitting, but anyway, they're still quite baggy. So the price offered for the cheaper ones is often 400 for the cotton ones. What you should pay is between 100 and 150, because they won't last very long. They'll probably only last a few weeks, to be honest. And often the cotton and the stitching and things isn't so good, so you don't want to be paying more than 150 for these. So polyester Aladdin style trouser, as I just said, if they're made with a cotton polyester mix, they're often long lasting, they're worth more, they're better quality. Very often you'll be off them, they'll try and sell them for about 600 rupees. Anything between like 250 to 300 is good for these, good price to pay for these. So yeah, about 250 to 300. So a bog standard scarf. Scarves are all over India, and if you want a really good deal, you should shop in a shop for Indians, not tourist shop for scarves, because pretty much all Indians, men and women, will carry a scarf of some description, and if you want one and you don't want to pay much at all, then shop an Indian shop. However, if you're in a tourist shop, and I'm talking about just like a cotton or a polyester, not a silk at this point, about 200 rupees is what you'll be offered. You can pick one up for about 100 rupees, or perhaps you can get a few for you know, 6 for 500 rupees or something like that. These make great presents, especially the nice thin ones. They make really good presents for people, and they're really nice to bring home because you can fold them up nice and small. Also, actually, interesting point on scarves. I got some scarves and they were made from banana leaf, banana silk, so they're a great alternative to silk, obviously more ethically produced because they're made from banana, and the quality is fantastic. And I think I got 5 for 6, or 6 for 500 rupees, I think, and it was really good. Yeah, definitely it was 6 for 500 rupees, it wasn't more. And they were from Udaipur actually, so yeah, Udaipur was quite good for shopping. Long sleeve top. If you're going out into the desert in Rajasthan, you'll need a long sleeve top. And you can pick one of these up for about 600 rupees. Sorry, they'll quote you 600 rupees. However, you want to pick one up for no more than 400. Loose fitting trousers, especially for men. These are, not that Gary wears them. He's adamant he does not like them. Loose fitting trousers, about 300. However, you want to pay about, again, up to about 150 for loose fitting cotton trousers. A printed skirt. I love buying printed skirts when they're there because they get lots of colours and designs. And also you can get like tie skirts. You can tie them at the side. They're quite nice. About 600. They'll offer you, but you want to pay about 400 for skirts. They also do sequin skirts, which I quite like as well. They're not overly hard wearing at all, so you have to be really careful about where you're wearing them, more just for show than practical use. You can't really wear them. The sequins do fall. However, if you're going to wear them in this country just for one evening or something in the summer, they look really beautiful. They'll try and sell these for about 400, but you can get them absolutely everywhere in tourist places for about 250, and they come in an array of colours, so you can get like purple and bright green and red and blue, and I love them. But yeah, don't pay more than 250 for them because they're all over the place. As we spoke about the leather bound books in Udaipur, outside of Udaipur you're looking about 300 rupees for one which isn't so good quality, but in Udaipur 150 rupees is a really good rate for leather bound books. Also, if you're going to buy a few, they'll often do you a really good deal on them as well. So that is the main tourist. That seems to be what most tourists go for in India, the clothes. But what if you're in India for a long period of time and you need to replenish your kit, as we do many times? Now, there's a few scams that you will become accustomed to. One is that, now, before I start, all products in India are all products that are boxed or packaged are not loose, basically not loose items. Things like toothpaste, deodorant, soap, items of clothing that come in packets, shampoo, sweets, chocolate, things like that. Anything that comes in a packet has a price printed on it. Even like water, things like that, cakes, anything, biscuits, anything, basically it all has a price printed on it somewhere. So if you're not sure, take the box, take the packet, just turn up the little foil flat bit, I don't know what it's called, and have a look, because there will be a price printed. Now, sometimes some people do try and scratch out this cost, or they try and write a new cost, or they tell you it's gone, or they remove it. If that happens, simply walk away from the shop. Don't do business in the shop. Just tell them no thanks, you'll go elsewhere. Because they have to have the price printed on by law, and any products that are from the government also have the price on, so it's not optional, basically. And if they try and tell you that there's no price, or also sometimes they'll take things out of the packet and then try and sell them loose, again, just ignore this, go to a different shop. So that's a scam that is quite often found. Again, if this is happening in a tourist area, in a tourist shop, just head to an Indian supermarket or an Indian shop that's for Indian people mainly, because they're not going to do this to Indian people, because they already know, one, how much there are, and two, that this is completely made up. So if this is happening, then just head to a regular shop instead of one in a tourist area. So here is a breakdown of some basic costs of things that you will probably have to buy if you're on the road for a long time. Toothpaste, an Indian brand, is between 20 and 40 rupees for about 100 grams. It's a small tube, but it's quite cheap. Soap, Lifebuoy brand. It's small, red, and smells like artificial Christmas. It's 10 rupees a little bar, so don't be fooled on that one. Shampoo, there's a brand of Indian shampoo called Clinic Plus. It's really good. It's like knockoff Pantene. It's quite good. It's about 60 rupees for a small bottle. Sanitary towels, ladies, if you need sanitary towels, there's a brand called Carefree. They are 35 rupees for 8 towels. That's how long I've been in India, girls. 35 rupees for 8 towels. The annoying thing is 8 towels isn't really enough for a whole period, so you do end up, of course, buying more, which is probably a marketing technique for their part. There's also a more expensive brand of sanitary towel called Whisper Plus, which is basically like Always, and this is 100 rupees for 8, but they are better quality. So obviously that's up to you. Toilet paper, you're looking about 80 to 100 rupees for one roll, which is a lot of money, bearing in mind the exchange rate. You're probably going to end up paying about £1.20 for one toilet roll. This is because toilet roll is not something which is really used a lot in India. Only in the more upmarket resorts, hotels, restaurants would they have toilet rolling tissue, and a lot of people just see it as a waste of time, really, because it's something that you're going to throw away, use and throw away, so why would you bother buying it? And very often it's only for sale in the tourist areas. You can buy it from chemists as well, but again, it's still an inflated cost. Also, an important one, washing powder. This is a really important one because you do end up having to use quite a lot of washing powder. But the good news is 60 grams is only 10 rupees, and there's some really good brands. One's called Whirl, which is actually quite good, and one's called Rin, which is really strong smelling and quite effective at getting the smell of travel out of your clothes. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. I hope you've learned something from this video. Do please tune in to my next one, because I will be talking about what to take with you to stay on a budget. Okay, good night.